What is up with the toilet paper? Why toilet paper? So I've been trying to figure out how to go about starting this video, what to talk about. I have no idea. I've been meaning to make an update video for the channel, just to update people on the situation in South Korea. But I feel like it's been overdone. There's so many other channels doing it already. It kind of feels redundant to make yet another video on the coronavirus. But I noticed that when I talk to people who are not based in South Korea, they don't really know things that are going on in South Korea during the corona outbreak. So here is a video explaining some of the things that are presently happening in South Korea. The one point that comes up the most in conversations on YouTube and anywhere else is the fact that people are unaware that schools in Korea have been closed until the 6th of April. Initially, the government issued an order closing down all public schools until the 23rd of March. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. The coronavirus didn't just disappear and people didn't just come outside and start, running around and having a good old jolly time, because that's not how viruses work. And so as a result, the government announced that they prolong the closure of public schools, and because of that, most of the private schools, including ours, follow suit and will remain closed until the 6th of April, which bodes really badly for the small businesses, even for the bigger ones. I only hope that the 6th of April will be the final date, because people are getting anxious. Everybody's starting to get a little bit tired of being cooped up at home. I've heard rumors of some parents actually asking the directors of the hagwons where the children used to go to open a week earlier, because the parents themselves were getting fed up with being stuck in the house and having their kids around them all the time. Well, maybe not that, but just, they're kids. They should be outside and play and hopefully educate themselves and do all kinds of stuff, right? But these were just rumors. I have no idea if that's actually happening or not. Nonetheless, schools remain closed until the 6th of April. Hopefully that will be the final date, and so do most privately owned language schools and other small hagwons/privately owned schools. Masks and sanitary hand wash are finally available. At the beginning of the outbreak, many stores had none of it, or the prices at which they were selling these things were highly inflated. Masks were not available on Amazon. You could not buy masks in stores. The government took control of that and decided that they would issue limited quantities of masks to pharmacies, and people can now purchase masks at pharmacies according to a specific set of guidelines. Each person living in South Korea is able to purchase masks for themselves on one specific day, and that day is determined by the last number of their birth year. So for me and for Mali, it's Friday. For Liam, I believe it's a Wednesday, and for Lucy, it's a Tuesday. The masks are reasonably priced and are available in pharmacies. The only problem is you have to stand in line to get them. The pharmacies, I believe, receive anywhere between 150 to 225 masks each day, and if you're unlucky, you might not get any if the line is long enough. When it comes to sanitary hand washes, you can pick them up at places like Daiso. They're normally priced 5,000 won per bottle, but I think there may be a limit on one bottle per person per purchase. I don't know what the regulations are on purchasing, leaving the store and coming back in to purchase another one. The more important thing is that the number of cases in Korea has diminished. The Korean government took some regulatory steps in order to prevent the further spread of the virus. And right now, up until today, the number of reported cases of the coronavirus have been dropping each day. There was a new mini outbreak just recently, which bumped the numbers of reported cases from yesterday's 70 odd to today's 150. But still, As a whole, Korea ranks number 7 on the list of nations with the most cases reported. While in the first few weeks, Korea was number 2, right underneath China, it has now been superseded by Italy, Iran, Spain, Germany, USA, and France. And the numbers in Italy in particular are scary. What about the daily life? Well, on average, people are still very cautious, although I would say much less so. In the first couple of weeks, everybody stopped going outside. People have quarantined themselves, locked themselves up in apartments, and were staying there for the entire duration of the first 2 weeks. These days, I see more and more people, more and more children outside, loitering about, doing things they're not supposed to be doing when the parents are not watching. I think people are becoming a little bit too relaxed. Maybe? Some watching this video will probably disagree with me and say that the corona thing is a conspiracy, that there are faster ways to die. Yeah, maybe true. But yet this thing, the coronavirus, is spreading pretty quickly. A lot of countries are becoming affected and people are scared, whether warranted or not. I personally think people are becoming slightly too complacent. About 5 minutes ago, I read an article that was posted. It's issued by the Korean Ministry of Justice, which states that foreigners, expats residing in Korea who have been found positive for the COVID virus or who are suspected to be positive must comply with the regulatory measures for self-quarantine. Those expats who refuse to be quarantined or to quarantine themselves or who refuse to be tested for the coronavirus could face deportation from the country as well as a ban on returning to Korea. Also, shall there be any financial damages incurred during the process, whatever that means, the Ministry of Justice here in Korea will seek financial retributions. So that means if you get dragged to court because you refuse to get tested for the Wuhan virus and lawyers have to be present, then you will have to pay for that. I wonder if similar measures apply to natives here. Clearly people can be deported, but if somebody refuses to get tested, will they have to pay for it if there are damages? The article didn't say anything about that. So to conclude, overall, people seem to be a lot less cautious than they were within the first 1 or 2 weeks here. Like I said, I see a lot more people walking around. People venture out to restaurants. Restaurants get packed with people. Maybe that's why there was a mini outbreak just recently. I assume that a lot of people are getting bored being stuck at home. I certainly am. I want to get back to work and start my life anew. Actually, not anew. I'd like to continue where I left off. But I guess we gotta suffer through all this. One last point I would like to make on the usage of masks. The reason why people use masks in Asia is not because they are fearful of becoming sick. Yes, that's the main part. But in many Asian countries, masks have been used way before the outbreak of the corona. I left Canada in 2004. When I came to Japan, Tokyo, I was surprised to see people wearing masks on a regular day. People wear masks when they have a cough. People wear masks when they have a runny nose. Many people wear masks because they're allergic to different things out in the air. There are pollen allergies and maybe they're allergic to dust. Dust is another factor why people wear masks in Korea, China, and Japan in particular. On an average day, the air quality here in Korea is not that great. There are months during which the air is fabulously clean, but on an average day, So masks are always advisable and people wear masks. Another reason why people wear masks is to protect themselves and to be polite to others. Because if I have a cold, I would like not to give it to you. And that's the reason why so many people of Asian descent wear masks. As a Westerner, when I first arrived to Japan, I wasn't even used to seeing people wear masks outside of a hospital, let alone wear one myself. These days, after having lived abroad for about 15 years, I'm quite used to it and don't really have any hang-ups wearing a mask on a dusty day. So that's really it for this short little update. I hope it's short. The government here in South Korea still takes the virus pretty seriously, and so should most people Because the sooner we get over this thing, the sooner life returns to normal. But until then, help support the Live in Korea channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, come back for next one sometime soon. I have another video coming up on how to teach online. Stay tuned!